Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Deluxe Lion Ha-Oh from Shuriken Sentai Ninninger. This is a mega late review. I mean, we're literally, what, 3 Sentais after it, and Power Rangers of it is just airing. But, you might know from following my other videos that, with the exception of Cube Whale, I have been skipping the large end-of-the-year mecha for the last few years, and getting it later when it's cheaper, because you also may know that the shipping for these particular Zords, or mecha, is usually just as much, if not more sometimes, than the item, so it's kind of beneficial to wait. But with the Ninja, excuse me, this is Ninja, Ninja Steel version just right around the corner, and probably going to want to do a comparison about it, I needed to pick this up. And I'm happy I did, because I actually have always liked the design of a lot of this. But anyway, that's about enough for intro-y stuff, except for also, I apologize if things get a little awkward. Not like I'm going to be weirdly awkward, well, no more than usual, but I mean just from the size of this thing in the review station will make things a smidge more difficult than usual, so I apologize for anything about that. But anyway, so here it is, and with just its regular lion mode, you have the little Ninja Ranger Key-like figure at the top. Before we get into the actual event itself, I want to make sure to go over the shuriken it comes with, which is, well, it's shuriken, and it has, you know, the little blade that can slide off of it, and you put it right back on. So this is like the old times before. Now we have the foam ones, which don't do anything. But so you got the little face on there that's going to pop up for, you know, when you put it on and all that good stuff. There's the designy under there. It works as the head piece for both this and the actual Megazord formation. And something I haven't had to do in a while, it does work with the Ichibanto. So just, let's do this. So then you press it again. And it'll cycle between those two. So yeah, that's the first time I've had to do that in a while. It's really weird because it feels like a blast from the past having to bring this out for a demo of what the gimmick does, since we're in Kyuranger now. But at the same time, we're also in Ninja Steel right now, so it feels kind of current. But anyway, so this is its general, like, default mode, and I do like the design of it. I think there's definitely a bit awkwardness in it, mainly having this large, you know, thing you could put like cereal in or something. But in general, in terms of the specific design, I do like it. I think that the lion head looks really neat on it. I like the design on it. I think I just said design like a bazillion times there. But I think it looks good. I think the sort of chromish pieces look good on it. Its mouth can open, mainly because the little Ninja dude can ride in there. That sounded weird. But like you can sort of like customize it so that it looks more like it's just roaring and not like it's opening its mouth for a little guy. Well, I said I wasn't going to be awkward, and then that happened. But yeah, this is pretty much all it does, is it just sits there and bees lion. As I said, there's the little Ninja up there. Let's go ahead and slowly zoom in on him. This is, oh, it's killing me. It's killing me so much I'm falling over now, guys. But it does come with this little dude up here, who he's not permanently attached. He just sits up there. Oh, it's just like a little basic, like, Ranger Key-esque dude. There we go, camera. You're almost there. You're almost there. I've never seen a half focus before. Okay, there we go. I finally got it to sort of focus. I adjust a little bit. But he's basically like a little Ranger Key. Like, he can just bend, basically, because of what he needs to do. It obviously doesn't actually turn into a Ranger Key, but yeah. So you get that. You can put him in the mouth in the formation. You can put him... It's just awkward already. As you saw, I just had him on top of there. And then you can also use this little guy here, which I'll show more later when they don't want to be blurry. There we go. Is the one that came with... I can't remember if it was Shinobi Maru or Rodeo Maru, but the little artisan figures. You had like a little articulated one. I'll show that one off in a bit, but I'm just taking them off there right now. There's the stars back here, which just pop off and are going to become the weapons. Let's actually zoom out. You can see the cannons up top there, which actually dual as the controls for when you actually have Shurikenjin in there, which is kind of neat. There's lots of little things that dual, like the arms or like front paws or whatever on this guy are super versatile, just in terms of the fact that they very easily switch between 3 different modes. Here's a side shot of it. Nothing too spectacular. The other side looks the same, and it can roll. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. So yeah, it can roll. That's like seconds of fun. It's like a giant rolling thing. Oh, it's happening. See what I mean about being awkward? Oh my god, he's like trying to break dance. No, it's no time for break dancing, lion. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of awkward. It actually, the whole thing fits in frame a lot better than I thought it was going to, but like trying to move it around without knocking over the review station or slipping this out and you get like a nip slip of review stations and you see the table. Anyway, so yeah, this is lion mode. That's what it does in lion mode, Bees Lion. I do like it. It'll be interesting when we get the Lion Fortress because from the pictures, I think I actually like the look of its main two modes without combining in the US version better. But we'll have to see. I'll talk a little bit about that, but you'll get more about that in the comparison. Okay, so to transform it, super easy, like Hyper Reshateo level stuff of just basically standing him up. Just take these bits off here, and you're just going to separate them, and they're going to become weapons in a minute. And basically, you're just going to stand him up. In fact, I'm going to just do that, and just stand him up. There you go. So let's do that. See, we're on easy street so far. And then you just fold these down, and that's going to be his hands. And then just take this whole piece, and make sure to not rip it off, because it can come off. Not permanently, but... And then snap that forward. There you go. Lion mouth. And then just to show, here's the little articulated one, and you can put him in there if you want, and you can like, you can put the, that looks really awkward, but you can put the, you can put him on like the other modes as well. I'm just going to put this in here for now. Just kind of lightly set him in here. He's probably going to fall out, but that's okay, because I'm just doing it quickly. That's what she said. So yeah, and then up top, you put the Shuriken as usual, and it's going to line up with the buttons and play its little jingle. Who wants to take bets? Ninja's going to fall out. And there you have its jingle, and as I said, you put these two in his hands, and they're going to become his weapons, like that. So there you have it, Lion Ha-Oh in its main mecha mode, and I do like the design of it. As per usual, this is, you know, the brick of the year. In general, Sentai mechs, a lot of them can be bricks, but like it's always the last one of the year that is the biggest brick of them all, usually like laughably so, kind of like this. It actually doesn't look as bad as I thought once I had it in person. Not that I thought it was going to look awful, but it's not, like it's definitely blockish, but I think it looks a little bit better, I guess is my point, with not being able to articulate that in a better way. But the main like blockishness comes from the feet being one piece, which is kind of necessary, I guess, for its transformation with the others, and then like this huge like square in the middle, because it's definitely a bulkier dude in the show, but he's not quite that blocky. But I think in general it looks a little bit better than I thought. It actually looks pretty decent. Like I said, we'll have to see when I get a direct comparison, but I think I like the way the Lion Fortress is looking better in those modes. But yeah, that's what it does there. As far as the jingle goes, well, since I just got this, I'm happy it works, but the other one would be the one where the question it works. I'll get to that in a second. But I do like the jingles that they had for Shurikenjin, wow, Ninninger. Like, it's kind of weird, because I like the idea of them having the jingles, because it kind of makes it show accurate. The voices definitely got on me a little bit, and Lion Ha-Oh's is weird, because I kind of dig its jingle and like the beat of it, but the voice is definitely annoying and kind of nasally. But yeah. Anyway, so this guy can combine with both Shurikenjin and Gekiatsu in very similar ways, as well as Bison King, which combines in the exact same way no matter which of the other two you put in there. And it's also very simple. I'm going to have to do a couple cutaways just for space. But basically, to get him prepared, I'm just going to basically just rotate him. Take this piece off. No. And take that piece off. Take this off. And we're going to flip him around. So let's hope he doesn't hit anything while he's back there. And see, there you go. You can see the seat already there and ready. I'm going to bring in Bison King and get him ready to snap on the back. I might have to do a quick cutaway just to make sure that I don't knock anything over. Basically just flipped him around. I thought I was going to have to do a different type of cutaway, but I think I can actually fit Bison King here at the same time. So basically, you're just going to separate this into two pieces very carefully. Well, technically 3 pieces. And you're going to take this little gray piece off. Just set these aside for the moment. And then you're going to want to slide this under here. there's a little peg hole, and you're going to want to slide it under there and make sure you do it this direction so that it slides flush in there, because it can fit the other way with that sticking out, but that's not going to work. And then you're basically just going to attach this whole piece on the back. Just fold the arms down, and then just sort of fold this out of the way a little bit. Be careful that blue doesn't fall off. I have so much trouble with Bison King constantly coming apart. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, these two bits here are going to slide in right here, and it's going to secure. And there you go. And that's basically it. You can sort of adjust it a little bit more if you want, but that's going to stay the exact same regardless of whether or not you put Shurikenjin or Gekiatsu. I'm just cutting around, me flipping it around so that there's no problems. So for this, it's real easy. You just separate them, and then you'll see the corresponding plug type for the top of the hands. So like this one goes like this. Let me just be careful to get it in there without knocking the camera over. There we go. So you got that one, and then this one has the one protruding from it. So it's like opposites, and that's how it goes. Again, same thing for this one, in that that is going to be the exact same. You're not going to have to change that at all between the two different modes. And then you take his weapon, and it plugs in. One of them plugs in on this side, and the other, the Shurikenjin one, plugs in on the other, and I might have gotten it mixed up. It honestly doesn't really matter because, you know, you're not going to be able to see it anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But Shurikenjin here, I have him over here. You can't see him right now, but you got his sword, and that'll plug in on the side. So if you want to have a nice place to store them, you can put them here. There you go. Again, it might be a little bit different, but you get the gist of it. And then the shield, if you can see right here, it's actually kind of hard to see. Let me adjust it in a second here. Oh, not the camera adjust, but that adjusts. There's two little plugs right here, which fit the shield, if you can line it up right. For God's sake, really? It's always the little details, because it's hard to press it in there without wanting to separate it. So yeah, there you go. So all that stores, again, it might be slightly different, but you really can't see them, and honestly, I feel like it's just there that so you don't have to store them in a different place and potentially lose them at some point. And then after that, it's pretty easy stuff. You're going to want to fold these down so you got easier access. And then just take Shurikenjin, and the reason his knees bend, which was kind of neat for a little articulation, but this is the main reason. And you're just gonna sort of not knock the camera. I'm sorry, see, it's just so awkward. And we're gonna sit him in there. Make sure his arms are up. There we go. I didn't have his arms up there for a second. And once you apply pressure, it will snap in. And then these go in very easily, actually. They just slide right up. You don't really have to move his arms too much. All right, now we are almost complete. Again, sorry for the slight little different camera angle there. All right, and then you just snap this on top, and we are cooking with gas. And there you have Ha-Oh Shurikenjin, which, to be honest, I actually really like a lot. I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, one of the sort of neatly funny concepts of Shurikenjin in general was that a little robot is controlling the big robot, and then this takes it to the next level. I think that the whole idea of the main mecha like sitting in here like a throne and controlling this larger robot is really cool, and I think the toy actually looks pretty awesome. Like I said, I like it quite a bit. I think it's very impressive. It's not quite like, you know, uses everything at once, and it doesn't make the best use of Bison King. I like the cannons are cool, but you know, you just basically put the rest on the back like a glorified backpack. But still, I think it's very impressive looking in size, and also just in looks. I think it looks pretty awesome. I think a little bit more accurate to the show than how clunky Lion Ha-Oh is on his own. But I just really like it. I think it's really cool. I think it's really unique in design, and I think it looks impressive. And yeah, I'm very happy with this mode of it quite a bit, actually. Like I said, I like it. I like it a lot. Also, you can sit the little Shurikenjin here on top, and he can sort of just sit there nicely. There's actually a little plug right there, so you can sit him on top of there and do that bit. Okay, So as I said, you can also put Gekiatsu in there, and the only real difference with that is that you're going to be taking out Shurikenjin, obviously, is that you're going to be taking his head off and putting a bit of it on top, or in front of him. So I'm just going to cut away to having Shurikenjin out of here so you don't have to deal with that. Gekiatsu in here, and it's pretty easy, actually. Just take this off top, and it's actually going to snap on top of there in a minute. And then you're actually going to take the Shuriken off the top, and this is the reason that this guy came with this other little flip-upable head. That's a word. So we're going to basically put him in there just like you would Shurikenjin, and he looks really weird, like he balded. It's just really funny, and it still looks funny when you actually snap him in here as well. Because like Shurikenjin like fills the area so well with the Shuriken and stuff that it looks awkward for him. Let me get it. There we go. Alright, so he's sitting in there. Make sure he's secured. So yeah, it just looks a little funny like that. And then before we do the finishing touch that makes it unique, you put the bird on top. It just snaps right in there. And you can, it's going to kind of be a little bit of a tall bit. We're not going to be able to always get it in frame. But you can put, if I can find the area, little Ninja figure up there. So that's a thing. So that's very, very simple, easy stuff to do. Okay, now the thing that separates this is that you actually take this bit and we're going to snap it on front. And so not only is this different because you don't have the full-on head up there, but it's actually the sounds for this specific mode that are contained in this, which is neat. So. So there you have that. You probably don't want to leave the Shurikenjin weapons and stuff on there, but honestly, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's pretty neat. I actually really appreciate that not only can you use both, but like, I like the way that the Shuriken system was used so that they had this ready to have the sounds for it, instead of somehow having the sounds for it in Lion-Ho to like quote unquote spoil it. So I don't know, I just thought it was a neat use of the system since this came out after, so far after that, you know, this guy wasn't even in the regular instructions for this guy. So I don't know. And I like that you can do it. Personally, I prefer Shurikenjin mode. Like, I think there's elements of this that are neat, but like he just looks kind of awkward in there with like the head being smaller. So I just don't think it looks quite as cool. Oddly enough, I do like Gekiatsu though. Like, it's kind of a more, I don't know, not controversial is not the word, but people are more split on the look of it and because it's so odd. But I personally actually really like it. But as far as choosing between Shurikenjin and this to go in there, I prefer Shurikenjin. I think it just flows better, both with not having the awkwardness, but just in terms of the overall designed look of it. I think it just looks better. But nonetheless, it's neat that you can do both and that you can, via the Shuriken systems, have sounds for both of them. But overall, I actually, as a whole package, really like this mech. I think the Lion mode looks okay on its own. I dig it. I think that the Mecha mode looks a little bit better than I thought. Definitely still blocky. But the main thing I really like about this, again, is the combined modes. I really dig the whole throne motif. I think it looks badass. I think it's unique. So yeah, I'm actually quite a big fan of this, more than I even thought I was before. We'll definitely see the comparison of it when Ninja Steel comes out and how interesting that is. If you've seen the pictures, you already know that these guys look really small. Well, we haven't seen this American version yet, but like Ninja Steel Megazord looks really small in ours because we've made it quite a bit bigger. So it's going to be interesting to talk about the comparison of that. But in terms of right now, if you are, you know, have collected the other Ninninger line and you have either this guy or Shurikenjin, I can definitely recommend checking this guy out. It's actually probably one of my personal favorite larger mecha the last few years for this point. I think it's impressive looking and unique. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make your crazy podcast at writersrandomrambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.